Hello, bastards! Onion bhaji recipe here with a little bit of mint sauce. Easy pocket recipe. Nice and crispy. Listen to this. Oozing with flavors, not full of batter. No extra moisture inside the flour. I'll show you a couple of tricks. Sorry, I need to. I'll show you some tricks. How to make this crispy. How to ensure it's cooked properly and it's tasty and flavorsome, like old school onion bhajis, the way they should be. The kind of recipe that's been lost in this takeaway restaurant trade. They've lost a lot of skills. So you can now make this at home at your own pocket leisure. Enjoy! So here we're going with 3 large onion. So we're going to get the first onion. All you do is cut across all the way through, and you left this way. And we're not going to go posh and start leaving the root in, etc. Just go across like this, give it a peel, and all you need to do is this. Basically, quite simply, you see where the grain is here? The grain's going across. We're going to go with the grain, not against the grain, with the grain. So, as thin as possible, slow down, let the knife do the work like this. Once you get used to it, you can start speeding up if you like. When you get to the end, just turn it, and you are there. Nice and patli, pin onions. Thank you. Chop them all, bastard. There's the rest of the onion. Throw them all in. Don't worry if it's too much for you, 3 large. Then you can go 2 large and you can cut down on some of the ingredients. For example, where it says 2, you can go with 1.5. Where it says 1 teaspoon, I'm on about teaspoons. Where it says 1.5, you can go 1. Where it says 2, you can go 1.5. No problem. But this will give you plenty pocket onion bhaji. Let's do it. So now we're going to go in with the salt. So I'm going with a teaspoon and a bit. You can go salt to taste. It's really up to you how salty you want it. You can also add a little bit later before you poke and fry it, not after you fry it. So what we're going to do first, 2 teaspoons of turmeric, which is haldi. Nice and easy this. Be easy peasy. 1.5 Kashmiri powder, this is chili powder, but obviously if you're a spicy bastard, you can put 2, 3. If you optional, you can put green chili, chopped green chili in there as well, if you want to make it a little bit extra spicy. But for normal people, you know, not so spicy bastards, just follow the recipe and see how it fucking goes. 2 teaspoons of Garam Masala, which is a blend of spices. Then you're going to go with some cumin powder, 2. Just light, nice and easy. Then you're going to go in with some coriander powder. Same again, 2 should be fine. Coarse black pepper. I don't have any coarse black pepper, so I'm just using a pepper mill. About 1 teaspoon or just short of it should be fine. Give it nice peppery flavor. Now we're going to go in with some cumin seeds, which is zira, which is cumin seeds. 2 teaspoons should suffice. And then we need some weed, not real weed. This carom seed, this is called Ajwain. It's also known as bishop's weed. You can Google it, find out the benefits and the properties. Really extra lovely flavor in Indian food, certain dishes. 2 teaspoons of that, please. This is optional. Ginger garlic paste, 1 teaspoon. Many moons ago, I never used to put ginger garlic, but I started adding a little touch to this mix, and it seems to fucking work, you garlic ginger eating bastards. 2 more things, last but not least, green chilies if you want to put. I'm not putting any green chilies in this one, that is optional. Coriander, chopped coriander is also optional. It's up to you. You like it, you don't like it. I like coriander. So all the ingredients are inside. What we need to do, I'm wearing a glove because some people are going to complain, you're not wearing a glove, you're not wearing a fucking glove, they're all the same. Fuck you. Anyway, what I'm going to do is mix it. Can you see how I'm squeezing my fingers like this? You're not trying to break the onions, but you're just trying to coat all this. Have you noticed no flour yet? No baking powder, no gram flour, no nothing in yet. We're just going to mix this like so. So all the salt, all the spices, all the whole spices, which is the jeera and the Ajwain, gets a chance to mix in with every little morsel of onion. We don't want anything to fucking go. We don't want any spare pieces. Just give it a mix, give it some work. 30 seconds, 1 minute, not fucking enough, mate. Massage it in, look, and I'm giving it a shake, nothing sticks at the bottom. Mix, mixy, pakana mixy. Once it's mixed, all we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this and leave it out at room temperature for about 30 minutes. Now, why we're going to do that? What happens is with the onions, with the moisture, the natural moisture in the onions, the salt and the spices will break down and attack the onion, and basically the onion will start to seep. It's already seeping. Can you see how moist it is? It's not seeping, it's natural moisture. And what I do is I use this instead of adding the flour and the water and making a batter. Let the natural water come out, and when you add the flour, that will mix and you won't need to add as much water. Sometimes, depending on the temperature of the room, you might not need not to add any water whatsoever, and this will help it make it crispy. Okay, we'll come back in 30 minutes. So while we're waiting for the onions, I'm gonna show you how to make a quick cheat minted yogurt or mint sauce, whatever you want to fucking call it. I've got 250 milliliter of natural plain yogurt. You can use Greek yogurt, you can use what the fuck you like because you're cooking with it. This is just for a dip. Instead of fresh mint, you can just use normal garden mint, not the jelly bastard, you know, the proper garden mint. 1 fucking teaspoon. Everybody's got this in their fridge or their pantry or somewhere. So 1 teaspoon, sprinkle of salt, just a touch, not too fucking much. Now, for those who don't put it too spicy, don't put too much chili powder. Look, not even a quarter. So probably an 1/8 chili powder, okay. Garam masala, probably a 1/4 teaspoon, and coriander powder, about 1/2 teaspoon. Now in here as well, you can put fresh coriander if you want, but if you don't have any fresh coriander or you don't like coriander, that is fine. Now you can use a pucker or you can use a biscuit. I'm using a biscuit. No, I'm using a pucker because I don't give a fuck really. So look at this, little bit salt, little bit garam masala, little bit chili powder, little bit coriander powder, and you have already one-sided minted fucking yogurt. How easy is that? Let's have a little taste. No double dipping bastard. Oh, perfect, perfect. So now the onions have stood for about 30 minutes. You need 1 cup of besan, which is gram flour. So this is gluten free, so it's okay for anybody with a gluten free diet. No gluten in the spices, no gluten in the onions, so you're good to go. Now obviously you can see the moisture has come out, so that's nice, but have a little bit of water ready to the side just in case you need to add, but we're not going to put all the flour in. So just 1 cup. Have some, this is sieved, so there's no lumps inside. So put a little bit in first, then put a pinch of baking powder, just a pinch, nothing too much, pinch. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to work that into the moisture. These are going to be light, crispy, not like you get in the takeaway restaurant where they fucking put loads of flour, little bit onion, and when you cut it in half, it's fucking look like fucking Scotch egg without the fucking egg. You know why they do this? I don't know why they do this. But can you see how that's mixing in without any water? So I've mixed that in. Now I'll just do this. So continue to add a little bit of flour at a time. Mixy, mixy, mixy. I'm showing you warts and all. This might be a long video. Who gives a pucker? You wanted this recipe. Can you see how that batter is forming? Now I'm putting all the rest of it. And this is, I'm hoping I don't need any water. Can you hear that? Can you hear that sound? You won't need any water with 1 cup. With all those onions, all the spices. Scrape it all up, give it a good mix. You've got to work this in. See, I squeeze like this. This doesn't damage the onions. And like I say, you don't have to use a glove. I'm using a glove today, but why not? Good for the screen, good for people to see. And there we have it. Look, can you see? That is the texture. And you think, wait a minute, that's not a batter. That's not going on. But let's go to the frying process. So what we need to do is we need to warm some oil to 160, between 160 to 180 degrees, about 170 be perfect. And we're going to fry these for about 4 minutes until golden brown, crispy, pakora crispy. And I'm going to take this glove off because I can't really work with this glove. While we're waiting for the oil, I'll just show you this quick hack. Get some water ready, tepid or cold, doesn't make a difference. Just get your fingers a little bit slightly wet. Shake that off, and then what we're going to do, just with your fingers, we're going to grab a little ball, yay big, and we're just going to use the end of the ball here to shapey. And this will make sure the batter doesn't stick too much to your fingers. And what we're going to do, now you can go round, you can go flat. Now, like I said, can you see all the onion? It doesn't look like much batter, but you can make them as large or as small as you like. And what I like to do is just make them a little bit thinner there so it cooks all the way through. And that's what I'll show you for now. I'm waiting for the oil. Let the oil get warm, but let me get my pocket thermometer ready. That's about 170 degrees. So we're going to go in with my paste. Now look, these don't all have to look the same shape, same whatever. You want it to be rustic. You're not selling the bastards. But don't forget, when we're shaping these up, with the oil, you don't want to decrease the temperature of the oil too much. So I would only do about 3 or 4 at a time, and that will keep you going. Can you see this? Nice and crispy. So leave that for the first 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Leave it, don't touch it. After about 30 seconds, what we do with the oil, slightly from the sides, just move it around. Can you see? Just move, and then that way you make sure it's not touching. If you go in too early, it will break. You don't want it to break. So we're just going to fry that for about a minute. Once it's a minute, we just turn that nicely over, and we're going to fry these till golden brown, crispy, pakora crispy. Keep them going. Also in between, if you want to just give it a little stab with a knife, this would also help the frying process, keeping it nice and crispy, making sure the oil goes a little bit inside. Don't worry, it won't make it fucking oily or greasy. The oil is frying really nice. It's frying really nicely. 1 more minute and we're done. And there we have it. Just grab these out. I like to drain these for seconds first. Get rid of any excess oil, and then you can hear how crispy they are. Let's make a few more, and then we'll do the big pakora reveal. These will be a big favorite with your family, your friends, and those skeptical people who say, oh, the money and badges are not same. They're not what they used to be. 70s and 80s, man. These ones are, you will be on a fucking winner. Your friends, family, whoever, neighbors, they're gonna fucking love you, bastard, love you. got quite a lot more to fry, so let's serve the ones I fried up. Well, I'll fry all these up and then we'll serve them up. And there is the finished product. Onion bhaji, crispy, pakan, crispy, old school style. Nice little easy peasy mint sauce. Onion bhaji, crispy, crispy, crispy. Break in the middle. Have a crunch test. Look at that. Let's get a dip. Very nice. Best of luck. Enjoy.